You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 412, recorded January 2022, posted August 2023. Yelling Down a Well.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, your Dungeon Master, and today we are continuing our Candlekeep adventures. Today we are continuing Book of the Raven, a adventure about a book given to our adventurers by, well, a raven. It's a lot of the stuff is covered in the title of the adventure, people. Our adventurers have been given a book by a raven, as I just said. Inside that book, in addition to a strange tale of a woman being taken in by travelers and taken to a spooky castle, is what appeared to be a treasure map. The raven indicated that there are people in a house at the end of the treasure map that the raven needs, dealt with. Not dealt with in, a deal with them, Tony, but just, dealt with. And so our adventurers have set off through the wilderness at the request of a bird, because that's the kind of adventures we run here on Total Party Kill. But we've gone a long time without me introducing our adventurers, so it is time to do that. I will introduce our players, they will introduce their adventurers, and then maybe I will go into an even longer recap. I don't even really remember how to run this podcast. First up in my Zoom window, first up in my heart, it's Nick Scott. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you very much. I am playing a human barbarian named Neural.
Excellent. Next up, it's Annette Weirster. Hi, Annette.
Hello, I am playing Kakara, who is an Aarakocra in the form of a raven and really likes sparkling things.
Also joining us, it's the one, the only, the James Thompson.
Hello, I am playing Nyasa Nightweaver, she/her, who is a high elf rogue that has brain knives.
Has them, or I have a lot of questions, but I'll move on. There's no time for that. Next up, it's Aline Sims. Welcome, Aline.
I want the commercial for brain knives, or the cure for brain knives.
There is no cure
for
brain
knives.
Ask your doctor if brain knives are right for you. Anyway, I am playing Bellin Greybeard, the mountain dwarf fighter. Our pronouns are she, her.
Thank you,
I'm
Aline.
good at this. I'm so good at this.
We're great. It's, this is the exciting thing about having a podcast that spans from Scotland to the West Coast, is that we have people from a wide range of time zones here, which includes people who it's late in the day and they're tired, and people who are early in the day and they're tired, and then me, solidly midday and tired. But that's not all. We have one last adventure to introduce, and that is, of course, I say of course as if you know who it's going to be, but maybe you do know who it's going to be. I'm not sure how that would be unless you listen to the previous
I'm
session.
watching the Zoom so I can see who it is.
That's Monty Ashley. Welcome, Monty. Sorry for that confusing intro.
Hi, that's Monty Ashley. I'm playing Townley Mountain Taker, he, him. Townley is a human warlock of the Queen of Air and Darkness, and he's got magic eyes, and that's it.
That is indeed it. So you have traveled far from Candlekeep to an old town, to the ruins of an old town, through the woods, navigated by a variety of landmarks. You went into a weird kind of spooky crater, and at the end of that trek over hill and dale, found yourself at kind of an old hunting lodge, a fancy old house in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you figured it out, but the name of this place is Chalet Brantifax. You've done lots of poking around in weird, disused parts of this house, found some weird, peculiar items lying around, and as you separate to explore the attic, discovered there's different sections to the attic that don't connect to each other, and thus have split the party. Always a classic D&D recipe for success. Townley is in kind of this turret-shaped structure in one corner of the attic. You found, I believe, there was a locked chest of drawers, and as you were kind of poking around at that, 4 raven-like creatures, humanoid bird creatures, flapped down through a hole in the roof and addressed you. I don't remember exactly what I said last time. Should I improvise what I said last time / this time?
I said, did you guys make this map? And I showed them the book.
We did not make this map, but you are in our house, and I believe you may have some of our things.
Well, Yeah, but look at this map for a second.
The Ravens kind of.
Did you guys know your house is at the center of a treasure map? That's weird, right?
The four, and these are basically kind of half human, half bird hybrid type creatures. They are large bird heads, lots of feathers, wing-like arms. They are clad in kind of black flappy robes, and they've got bright red crimson sashes. Three of them kind of like perch on the edge of the hole leading into the tower here. The one that has been talking kind of flaps down to land next to you, Townley. They all have weapons. They have little, looks like short swords or rapiers on belts. None of them are drawn, so they're not being openly aggressive. But there are four of them, and you are here all alone. And the first bird kind of reaches out with a feathery wing arm to look at the book and says, "That does indeed appear to be our house. Where did you find this map?"
Well, a bird gave it to us.
A bird gave it to you.
I'm sorry for, I don't know if it's offensive to just say a bird. I think it was...
No, it sounds accurate, but thank you for thinking of us.
A raven. I don't know if it was... I mean, later on it talked to us.
The bird kind of whirls around and just kind of looks at the three other raven hybrids perched on the thing, and they all just kind of, not me, give confused looks. That is indeed strange.
Yeah, so that's why we're here. We were given a quest.
There are more of you.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's 5 of us.
5 of you, you say. Well, you don't seem evil. I suppose I should introduce myself. My name is Madrina. Madrina Nadarask. These are my colleagues. That's Vanik, Taspar, and Rennick. And you are in the presence...
I'm Townley Mountain Taker.
Indeed. Well met, Townley Mountain Taker. You are in the presence of the Scarlet Sash.
Are they wearing scarlet sashes?
They are wearing... Well, I would call them more red, but yes, they're wearing bright red scarlet sashes.
I don't know what their color vision of birds is like, so, we can grant them a certain amount of leeway.
So, Townley Mountain Taker, a map has brought you to our home. What did you hope to find at the end of your journeys?
Well, we were told there was treasure here, and no offense, so far there hasn't been. And we were told, and now don't take this the wrong way, that there were squatters in the house. And I can't help noticing none of you guys are named Brantifax, and you don't look like this portly baron or tall, thin wife or mastiff that were in a portrait downstairs.
No offense is taken, Townley Mountain Taker.
Are you sure this is your house? We are not
of the Brantifax family. When our kindness found it, it had been abandoned for some years, and we have stayed on for many years since. This is one of the Crimson Sash's main bases that we operate out of. This is one of the main bases that the Scarlet Sash operates out of. I don't wish to be rude, but you are wandering about our home. Is it possible that in your explorations, one of your adventures, perhaps not realizing the proper ownership of it, as we are speaking of matters of ownership, came into possession of a small statue?
I honestly don't remember.
Previously on Total Party Kill, one of you found a very strange statue of I think you rolled some religion checks and did poorly, of a weird kind of demon-looking character. I think you found it in some rubble. I forget who exactly has it. Does one of you remember?
No, but
Oh,
I think we should
Checking my inventory.
We should
Okay.
probably retire to the drawing room and discuss all this.
All right, let's we'll let the conversation with Townley continue. But yeah, I suspect you'll be regrouping soon. So Townley, you said you honestly don't remember.
Tell you what, since it doesn't seem like you guys are attacking me right now, which I appreciate, why don't you guys and my group kind of all be in the same room and talk this out like humanoids?
Very well. Let us retire, shall we say, to the dining room on the first floor. Perhaps we could serve you some food.
Ooh, I shout out,
Hey guys, I found some people who say they live here.
A muffled voice cuts through several sets of walls across the attic, but we'll assume that you all recognize the signal that it's probably time to regroup, and so you do, because otherwise the adventure will be sad if it's just Townley. The Adventures of Townley. So I'm just gonna move
spin-off
I'd
series.
listen.
Finally.
So, you all regroup in I believe you explored this previously. The first floor of the chalet has a somewhat sad, disused dining room, but it's, one of the largest open spaces in the chalet, and most importantly, has the most number of chairs in it. The Scarlet Sash, did I say that correctly? I'm going to get that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I should remember that it's alliterative. The Scarlet Sash come with you, and some of them move back and forth between the dining room and the kitchen, serving you some, they're kind of here in the wilderness. It's not a very fancy repast, but they've heated up some porridge for you. You notice just kind of coming and going as you get kind of assembled in the dining room, the members of the Scarlet Sash seem to be able to kind of transform into several different shapes. Some of them take on just the full form of a raven to move when that is convenient for them to move around. You notice that one of them transforms fully into a human. And that seems to be he's kind of an elderly man who seems to kind of relax into that form into in the corner. That one was introduced as Taspar, but Madrina seems to be the either official or unofficial ruler and leader and do most of the talking. You get the sense that she's probably middle-aged, and whereas the other ones are either elderly or young, and so she's kind of the seniority member of the kindness, which they refer to as their kind of group here. So there's some kind of small talk chit chat until you all assembled around a medium, I was going to say steaming, but let's just say lukewarm bowls of porridge in the dining room of Chalet Brantifax. Madrina says, "I apologize for the simplicity of the repast, but honestly, we've never had visitors before."
Do you guys know a raven named Huluth?
The Wereravens exchange looks and say, "I do not. That is not a member of our kindness that I am aware of. That name sounds familiar. I can't put my feather on it." Huluth. The other ravens are all thinking. Some of them do put their little beaks on their hands, or depending on, they may be in more bird form where they just kind of turn their head to the side. But I don't think we know this Huluth that has sent you here. This is most mysterious. Now I'm afraid I must ask again about this statue. You see, that came into our tribe's, our clan, our kindness's ownership recently, and well, I don't know if you're aware of its properties. It is not perhaps the kind of thing that you want to just be walking around with.
Well, Nyasa reaches into her bag. Even if she didn't have this in the last adventure, it's in her bag now.
Sure.
I mean, you're dealing with a thief. Kind of happens.
Hey!
Yeah. Thank you.
And Nyasa puts it on the table and says, "We haven't been introduced. I'm Nyasa Nightweaver. I believe this is yours. And I just want to say that whole transformation thing you're doing is really cool."
Oh, thank you. We're all very proud of our gifts here in the Scarlet Sashes. You see, Nyasa, you seem like, well, you've been around. I don't think you want to be traveling with... Well, this is a figurine of Orcus. I don't know if you're familiar with his works. He is the demon prince of undeath. That little figurine, that statue, was carved from the petrified heart of an ogre. It's really not the kind of thing one wants to be walking around with.
Yeah, that seems like you should take care of that. We're quite happy.
Yes, we intend to put it somewhere that hopefully no one will find it ever again. You see, it's just, it's going to send the wrong message. You don't want people who'd like that statue to find you, and there's also some people that would really want to smite with vengeful justice the kind of people that would carry around that statue. So it's just not what you want to be traipsing about up and down the Sword Coast with. It's going to get you into troubles.
I mean, do you want to destroy it? We could probably help with that.
Well, we're not sure how to destroy an object of this significance of power. Usually what we do is when we come into possession, you see that is what the Scarlet Sashes do. We are protectors, but also collectors. We find objects of evil and seek to protect the larger world from them by hiding them away in places that they will not be found again.
That sounds like a very noble vocation.
That is the main charge of the Scarlet Sashes.
Not wishing to sound rude, but are you all of the same raveny persuasion?
We are indeed all Wereravens. In order to become one of the Scarlet Sashes, one must be offered, and then one must accept the gift of our thing. You friend, are you seem perhaps of a similar origins to us, but I have not met a raven like you before, says Madrina, addressing Kakara.
Kakara! Yes, I am Kakara, and I'm actually quite pleased to meet you because I do not see many other bird folk around. I am not a werebird, but an Aarakocra. So this is my natural birth form to be a bird in a similar dark, feathery form like you. I admire your feathers.
It is fantastic. It is almost like you have been given the gift at birth, while the rest of us had to claim it or be offered it or accept it later in life. It's good to be among other feathered friends, even if we are not of perhaps the exact same.
I ruffle my feathers up and preen a little bit because I know I'm quite good looking for a raven. I just have a question. So, we met this other small raven, and I think he assumes, I'm assuming he perceives you as squatters, but you say you've been here for some time. The place has been abandoned. Do you know why this raven might think you are a squatter instead of just kind of taking care over a space that was not wanted by anyone else?
Well, it is true that we did not purchase this place. We are not of the Brantifax family, but when we found it, this place had been abandoned for quite some time, and so we operate from it as if it was our own. I do not know this raven Haluth who says we do not belong here. But I'll be honest, we do not know exactly what happened to the Brantifax family, except that no one from that family has been here as long as we know of.
So we're kind of curious about the treasure that is apparently in your house. And have you ever heard of this or looked for it? And we came here. We thought we were having a fun treasure hunting adventure, and we'd like to continue that if we can.
Well, this strange raven may have sent you on a bit of a goose chase. All the other ravens laugh at this uproariously.
I laugh too.
I do not know if of any treasure to be found here. In fact, this is a rather dismal place to find at the end of one's map.
I mean,
do I believe them?
Yeah, sure. Roll insight.
I rolled a 10.
Seems reasonable.
I'm probably swayed by their birdie charminess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nyasa is swayed because, she's all dressed in black with scarlet hair. So she's kind of fits the color scheme. I think she's angling for a job. But anyway, would you mind if we looked for this treasure? And of course, if we found anything, we would split it 50-50 with you.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. I mean, we've been here for some time. I suspect there's nothing of significant interest to be found, but you're free to poke around. I'd recommend, there are reasons that we operate out of here. It is getting dark. Best not to wander outside of the house after nightfall.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
What wanders around out there after nightfall?
Well, and I say this with the belief that you are creatures of good intentions. We are stationed here because the graveyard outside the house is, our people's name for it is a shadow crossing, and there are undead creatures that emerge from it every night. We are stationed here to dispatch them and make sure they venture no further into the world and cause trouble for good folks such as yourself. That is our current charge of our flock here.
Every night, undead people come out of the graveyard and just kind of march towards the house, like in rows.
Usually only a pair every night. If they were not dispatched every night, certainly they would collect and there would be a real problem.
Do you recognize them?
We do not. Some of them bear strange livery and whatnot, but they seem to be perhaps soldiers or people from some army from long ago.
Every night for years?
Indeed.
I always thought undead were like 1-to-1 for dead people, you know?
Wherever these creatures are coming from, there seems to be a lot of them.
I mean, this seems kind of... Could this be related to the statue?
The statue was only recently brought here.
Yes, but it just seems, we've got a statue of, like, relating to undeath, and we have people coming out of the ground. That seems, a bit of a coincidence.
Yes, well, as this place being a shadow crossing, there's an inherent dreariness around it. I'll be honest, the rest of my kindness does not agree with me, but I'm pretty sure this house is haunted.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider not necessarily desecrating the graves, but let's say digging a moat around the graveyard?
We've tried a variety of things, and it honestly has been most efficient to simply dispatch the two ghouls who emerge every night quickly and return to our other business that we must do.
Have you considered letting the ghouls do what they want?
We have not considered that.
Oh, you should. Maybe they just want to get inside and have some porridge or something.
They seem rather intent on feeding on the living.
Yeah, we're not really in favor of that. So,
Are there any other, we kind of looked around your house. Sorry if it looked abandoned. We didn't mean to intrude. But are there any other levels of the house that we haven't seen? Is there a basement?
I believe there is a basement, but it's locked. I've never bothered to go down there.
I think you found the kind of people who want to go down there.
We like basements, really. I don't, actually. I like the sky, but sometimes I'm willing.
I mean, if you, keep the house secure, stop the undead getting in, we'll have a wee look down there, see if there's anything like an undead generator thing.
So maybe the root cause is in the basement.
Yeah, I mean,
we
it
can
usually
help
is.
fix that.
I do appreciate you've basically been in this ancient, decrepit old house all afternoon and have basically waited until sunset to go into the evil basement.
Well, that's what one does.
And if we
That's
weren't
true.
in the attic, we wouldn't have met these nice bird people.
It's true. So,
And just let's get at it.
We're fortified with porridge now.
yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
can stop us.
Exactly.
you can if you. I don't think you've used anything recently, but if you need it, you could assume that you've had the effects of a short rest. It sounds like you want to go into the basement.
Should we wait until morning before doing it?
No.
Nah. I just wanted to float the idea in case anyone was really pro morning.
I'm definitely not.
So it looks like no one has been down in the basement for quite some time. You do discover that the lock to the basement door is rather rusted, but we'll just say that probably. Do you have a rogue? I forget. How have we?
Yes, I'm a sort of
Nyasa?
multi-purpose.
All right, Nyasa tries to
Pick that lock. Pick that lock.
Nyasa, give me a quick lock picking check.
Okie doke. Well, I rolled a 16, and I'll probably add something large to that.
All right, you managed to kind of basically destroy the rusted contents of the lock. This door will never be lockable again. It may not even kind of close flush anymore. Beyond the door is a short set of stairways leading down into the damp basement cellar beneath Chalet Branifax. You head down. It's a kind of narrow, cramped set of stairs opening into a open space made of rough mortared bricks. The ceiling here is only about 8 feet high, wooden ceiling above you. You can hear the sound of the various members of the Scarlet Sash moving back and forth above you on the first floor. So this seems to be a disused storage area. There's stacks of crates, barrels, old furniture stacked along the northern wall, covered in a relatively thick mass of dust and cobwebs. You see a door in kind of the southwest corner hanging open, looking into some kind of dark circular room, and another little storage room off to the southeast.
I am going to go in.
All right.
Like,
Nyasa will follow.
I'm
Okay.
like just gonna kind of just go into this main part here and take a look around.
Mm-hmm. You feel like the air pressure is almost different down here. The air is really stale and weird. And Kakara, is it your imagination, or did you actually hear? It sounds like an old man's voice saying, "I can't get out." Nobody else hears this.
I am not sure, and I feel puzzled. But I tell everyone, I'm like, I think I hear something. I think I heard someone say they can't get out.
Do we
And
want them to get
do you
out?
have any sense of where it might have come from, or it's just
It sounds like
Nyasa
it came southwest.
putting things in my head? I start to head toward the sound.
Okay. You head across the. I'll assume that you have some kind of light source.
I have
Kakara.
night vision.
You have night vision. You
Dark
head
vision.
dark vision, which is
I do
good
too.
because it's dark here.
I think we can pretty much.
Is it dark or is it completely black?
I think it's dark. I think there might be a little bits of light coming from above.
Then I cannot see.
Okay. Townley hangs out by the
I
bottom of the
give you a
stairs where there's
wing.
still light. From,
You
yeah.
can hold my wing if you like.
Yeah. Just feel along in the darkness in this horrible.
Maybe we should like have a light source for the night vision challenge.
I'm going to light a torch. Is
There
everybody
you go.
okay with that?
That is okay.
I
You know-
can light a torch as well.
We don't.
All right,
need
the
it,
two of
but-
you light torches that illuminate. You see the stacks of old furniture, the damp puddles of water or slime on the floor. It's cold here, as for those of you that have bare feet in contact with the floor. It's just kind of dank. Doesn't smell the greatest. Kakara, you lead the way south. There's a door that you pass. I guess it would be to your left that looks closed. I think I already revealed the door beyond the map. Don't worry about that. But there's a strange kind of circular chamber ahead of you. It feels, this is a great word that the adventure uses. Sepulchral. You head into this strange little circular room at the end of the basement. The only feature of this damp, cold, circular room is a well in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the chamber. Next to the well shaft sits a wooden bucket fastened to a coiled length of rope.
I lean over into the well and I go, "Caca!"
Caca, caca, caca. It echoes back. It seems like the well it's a 4-foot diameter well. You can't see the bottom. It's darkness. And from somewhere in the well comes a voice whispering back to you, Kakara, just barely audible. Anyone who wasn't poking their head over the well could definitely not hear it. And it says something like, "Born? Where are you, boy?"
And I say, "I'm not born. I'm Kakara."
Rourn was the name of the family dog, according to my notes.
Yeah.
I did not, I don't remember details well, so I did not pay attention to that at all.
I would like to stick my head over the well, holding my torch away, hoping that my devil's sight, which allows me to see in total blackness, will let me see what's at the bottom.
We can close the door if it makes it darker.
Yeah.
Would that help?
So you look down, and with your, well, it's not Devil's Sight. I mean, then I know the name of the power is Devil's Sight, but your Queen of Air and Darkness Sight. I don't think she'd appreciate being referred to as a devil.
Oh, the Queen of Air and Darkness sight covers a lot of different things.
Oh, okay. You look down, and you're able to see in the pitch black darkness that is a well at the bottom of a haunted basement. The shaft of the well seems to be about 60 feet deep. You see that there is, or at least 60 feet down to the cistern of water at the bottom. But you can see, I'm going to even say that the water is particularly clear, and you can see in that water, in that pitch black darkness, there's some kind of object sparkling in the dark there.
there's an object down there. It's sparkling, which is weird considering the lack of any light that would normally cause it to sparkle.
I am
Must be the
very
work
interested.
of the must be the work of the Queen of Air and Darkness, I say.
Kakara, I know you can just probably just fly down there, float down there, but I don't.
I think
Feel
it's probably hard to
comfortable.
navigate.
Yeah, it's like it might be a little
in
narrow.
shaft. Yeah. I don't
to
know if you can fly.
get
You
my
could fall.
wingspans.
You'd be great at falling. I think
could-
all
yeah,
of
I
you
could-
all of you
Well,
are qualified to fall down a well.
I might be able to fall with like
Style,
Yeah.
like a
Yes.
you can Buzz Lightyear it, you know, like
yes, exactly.
And we do have a rope to get you back up.
Mhm.
I was. Well, but
I mean, maybe this thing is sitting in a bucket at the bottom of the well, which would be really convenient.
We could also I could talk because I don't know if anyone else can hear, but I heard him, so we could ask who he is.
I mean, I don't want to be the person to point this out, but whoever it is has been at the bottom of this well for several years, undisturbed. There's also undead creatures outside. Again, I'm not saying it's a coincidence, but
Well, surely we need them to be in the graveyard and not in the well. For one thing, it cannot be good for the well.
well, nobody's drinking this water. Well, I hope nobody's drinking this water because it's probably haunted. But
Is the bucket
haunted
at the bottom
water.
of the well?
Ooh,
Sorry,
that,
what was the question,
That's
Nick?
a product.
Is the bucket at the bottom of the well?
No, the bucket, I believe the bucket is just there at the end of a rope next to the well.
Okay. I have 50 feet of rope.
Mhm.
I think we all do probably.
Yep.
Does anybody have any? If I
And
climb
I would
down
say
the rope?
the bucket is already connected to, let's say 75 feet of rope.
Enough rope to get to the water, probably.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
usually how wells work.
And there's a well apparatus so that you could raise
Maybe
and lower
you can
the
get
bucket
that
of water.
sparkly thing if you like water and the sparkly thing.
So, what do people think about me trying to clamber down the rope? And
I mean, I'm
See
all
what's
in
at the
favor
bottom as
of
well.
it.
okay,
Do it.
yeah, I'm ready to go. So I will
All right.
climb down the rope.
So, Neural, you pick up the bucket, drop it in the well. A second passes, and you hear it sploosh.
I'm also going to have a second rope. I'm going to use the rope that I have with me, that I'm also going to put down at the same time.
Excellent. You are not going to trust the 100-year-old rope that's here.
No.
The moldy rope.
Do you need light?
Yes, I'll need somebody to probably, unless I can somehow hold a torch at the same time.
In your mouth.
I'll need somebody to at least hold a torch down the well.
I mean, I can shoot a firebolt down the well.
I am climbing down.
All right.
We've made a human
you-
claw machine.
Give me a quick do it either athletics or strength. They're probably the same stat for you to descend the well. It shouldn't be too hard for an adventurer such as yourself. I mean, the well has it has masonry kind of rocks, so it's smooth and climbable, though probably damp. So it shouldn't be too hard.
Oh,
I said.
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
Classic.
Give me a quick acrobatics check to catch yourself as you fall half the way down the well.
I roll 12.
Okay. You manage to catch yourself, but you do fall, I'm going to say, a decent way down the well shaft, and you kind of bang against the side of the well as you grab the rope and try and reorient yourself. You take a good 13 damage, which is a combination of banging your head on the side of the well and rope burn on your hands.
I shout down, "You've
Okay.
got this!"
And Neural, you hear the voice say, "Brorn, is that you?" As you kind of are clinging to the rope halfway down the well. So it's only 30 feet down at this point.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue descending.
All right, give me another athletics check and don't roll a critical fail this time.
All right, this time I get 22.
Excellent. You deftly, but strategically and carefully and quickly climb the rest of the way down to where the bucket is kind of bobbing in the water. It looks like the water is not too deep here, maybe the 5 or 6 feet of water, and it is extremely clear. You see perhaps the object that glinting in whatever torchlight is bouncing down the well shaft from above. It looks like something kind of gold and shiny. and it's hooked on like there's just like a little a peg sticking out from the side of the well shaft that it got maybe caught on. It doesn't look like it was placed there so much as perhaps like left behind there. Looks like maybe like a locket or something on a shiny chain.
Well, I'm just going to try and grab that.
All right, you take it.
Is there anything else that I can see down here of any interest? I basically just ask, is there anyone here?
A strange voice whispers back, "No.
I can hear you. Who are you?
This is my house. Please leave."
What is your name?
Baron Brantifax.
Are you trapped in this well?
In a way.
I'm here on purpose.
In a way, so he's not like fully trapped in the well. Do you guys have any thoughts on what else I can do down here, or should I head back up?
I mean, if there's no obvious skeletons or other...
There does not seem to be, despite the fact that you are hearing a kind of ghostly presence whisper to you, there is no sign of anything else here in the water of the well.
Anyone think I should drink the water?
Maybe bottle some and bring it up.
Okay. So
But-
I gather some water in a flask.
Yep.
And bring it up.
All right. We'll say maybe your friends help raising the bucket so that you only have to kind of climb half as much, and you, without too much trouble, clamber out of the well.
This is so much work. Why did we let the strong guy go down the well?
The heaviest guy, probably. But yeah, you.
Hollow bones. This would have been simple.
And she likes shiny things.
Mhm.
I do.
So you have a flask of well water and some kind of shiny locket.
Did the voice
right.
seem to be coming from the locket?
No, it seemed. I mean, you had the locket, and it seemed to be coming from the bottom of the well.
So, I basically show the locket to the rest of the gang. And,
Somebody give me a quick religion check on the locket.
I'm -1.
Still good at religion, everybody.
I rolled
3.
a 14.
There's a lot of religions to keep
Wow.
track of in D&D.
There are a lot of religions.
It's not a
sadly.
religion I'm familiar with.
I rolled an
8.
11.
All right, Neural, the most pious of barbarians. Whether you're, I don't know if you're a practitioner or just a studier of the, you paid attention to that one religion elective you took in barbarian school. You recognize that the little locket, it does seem to be a locket that would kind of open, but it is styled in the symbol of the god Sun, S-U-N-E, who is a god of love and beauty.
I assume the locket is closed. Is there a way to open the locket?
Yeah, you easily open it. You figure this locket probably has about some monetary value, about 25 gold pieces. Inside the locket, there is a tiny portrait, and you recognize it as looking very similar, because it is probably the same person as you saw previously depictions of, I believe, of the Brontovax family. This seems to be the Baron's wife.
Well, I hand the locket over to Kakara for safekeeping.
I put it on.
Safekeeping.
Exactly. I'm just taking care of it. I won't lose it around my neck.
Let me just ask a Dungeon Master question here. Do any of the players, it's up to you if your characters have pieced it together, have a sense of what is going on here with the well?
No.
Nope.
No.
I mean, I think people ended up going down the well at some point, but
Clearly, we have to find the zombie dog and throw it down the well to satisfy
Yes.
the
I mean,
ghost of the
the
Baron
elder
that's
god.
down
Exactly.
we did find a hand, which was an odd thing to find, but it was like some kind of prosthetic hand or something.
there. Like the ghost of the Baron is down the well.
The ghost of the Baron seems to be tethered to down the well, though there does not seem to be any sign of the body of the Baron.
Which is interesting.
The body of the Baron is presumably out there in the graveyard.
It's true. Or at least, I believe somebody poked their head into the graveyard. I forget. Okay. I don't know if you read all the gravestones or not.
I mean, the fact that it was his presumably true love in a locket down the well, you would think he would
Or
be in
was his dog his true love?
Well, I
if
think
that's who he's calling
He has
for.
been asking for the dog, yeah.
It may also just be that you all look as more likely he is to mistake you for his dog than his wife.
What we should have done is when he said, "Are you?"
Did you just
the
call
dog?"
me a dog?
No. I called
think
you a
our,
character.
Tony just called me a dog. Kakara's offended.
If somebody asks if you're a dog, say yes.
You say, okay, well,
Reference acknowledged.
Thank you.
Yeah.
we could say such a thing to a ghost when he asks us that question again.
We would say woof, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed. We should do that.
I bark into the well.
Nothing happens in response.
We should have a look at the other rooms around this bit, just in case we're missing
Okay.
some vital.
There's
clue.
one room of the basement that you have not explored. The door is closed to it. And in fact, as you take a look at it, the door to this room seems to be like it's kind of like swollen in the frame, perhaps because of some moisture. So somebody may need to break this door down.
Well,
Look at
we've
that.
got a
I
very.
want to do it.
I was going to say
Oh.
we've got a damaged barbarian, but
You also have a dwarf.
What do you want, Tony? Strength?
I want a strength check.
Just checking to see if I get advantage for some reason.
Mhm.
7.
You slam a shoulder against the door, and it kind of like bends and flexes, but stays intact.
I was just
Neural.
so excited.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hurl myself at a door. That it just-
let's all hurl us.
Neural, you want to try while Bellin is rubbing her shoulder?
I get a 13.
All right, the door shatters off of its splinters off of its hinges,
I'll save
and
that for you.
yeah, and there is revealing a cold, windowless room beyond. This room has a pair of wood frame beds, 2 narrow wardrobes, and an old rug. Mounted on the east wall beneath the beds is a wooden shelf with a pair of candlesticks. It looks like this might have been sleeping quarters for, you might guess, maybe servants, based on that it's in the basement and looks functional but not ornate in any way whatsoever.
I'm going
Well-
to give the room a good searching.
Yeah, let's all
with
rummage.
Anybody else who wants to.
Yeah, I'll have a go.
All right,
Look,
give me a quick perception checks to poke around in the servants' quarters.
I rolled a 23.
You are poking around. Neural, you do not find anything. Nyasa, you are poking around, and you find under one of the there's just like a very sad flat. It's like at first you thought it was like maybe like some kind of small square sheet, but seems like possibly at one point it served as like a pillow for somebody, and under that pillow there is a pewter spork. The servants' quarters, unless you need a pair of old candlesticks, seems otherwise not to have anything exciting in it.
I mean, we've established that this is a point-and-click adventure, so we should just take the candlesticks with us.
You're yeah,
And
it's
the
just
spork.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
I haven't
Use
done any
spork
searching.
with. Yeah, we should have a look at the top bit as well, because I don't think we.
Yeah.
I was thinking too.
I'm already rummaging over there.
All right, Kakara, you're rummaging through the stacks of stuff. There's some, looks like crates and barrels that are empty. Perhaps the various foodstuffs were delivered to the manor, to the chalet that way. But there's also stacks of old furniture. Seems like rich people are always storing furniture that they, kind of cycle in and out. You find 6 chairs, 2 hutches, an ottoman, an empty cabinet, a desk size for a child, and a coat rack. All of it is dusty.
I am
and
unimpressed.
smells like basement.
Yeah, I do not want any of this.
I feel like as
Furniture.
adventurers, you're not really in the furniture collecting trade.
I mean, if we were going to have a party in the house, some extra chairs might be useful. But
I'm going to go back to the well area and do a thorough search around that room.
don't
Sure.
fall down the well again.
I won't. I'll be careful this time. So I'll do some perception. I roll an 11.
You're poking around. It seems like it is empty of anything exciting beyond, what you've discovered so far, which is to say, haunted well, bucket. As you're heading back out, you hear a kind of familiar voice say, "Brorn? Where are you, boy?"
I bark back.
It doesn't seem to be any recognition from the well.
Before we leave, I yell down, Baron, what do you want?
Brorn?
Okay.
Yeah, we just definitely need to
find
get this guy's dog.
Let's find a
His
dog
dead dog.
skeleton. Oh, we could,
Okay, that does it. Let's go outside and see if Brorn is buried in the graveyard.
Yeah, we
I'm
need,
doing
we need
this.
some dog bones and not bones
Only
for a
2
dog.
undead out there.
Well, they
You
may have
had-
dispatched them already. They've, been,
It's true.
we've been down here a while.
All right, you head out. It is now solidly after dark.
We should have probably told them about the haunted well, but
That's okay. And we'll say that you...
That's okay.
Tony doesn't mind.
I'm not. I take no offense. You know, you head out. Two of the kindness are stationed in the graveyard. Madrina and you think it's Vinique, and they seem to be stationed there, just kind of minding their own business, waiting, looking up at the kind of full moon in the sky. They have laid out, ready to kind of go to work, a set of shovels and a set of swords.
I was going to do the good news, bad news thing. You know,
Oh,
it's like
in the basement.
good news, you've got a well. That's going to add quite a lot to the value of the house.
That does
bad
explain
news,
some.
Haunted.
Well, I suppose that explains some of the strange noises we occasionally hear at night.
It appears to be haunted by the man of the house.
The Baron.
Yes.
Strange. He's one of the few graves here we haven't had any trouble with. Madrina kind of points to one of the four graves.
Is the dog buried? Have you seen any indications of a smaller burial plot?
Oh yeah, it's right next to the Baron's.
Excellent.
Does the dog? Is it one of the bodies that comes up and you have to kill every night?
No, it's very strange. We call it a shadow crossing. The creatures that rise from the grave are not buried there. We have excavated it in under sunlight, and they are not there. It's something else comes through every night.
Do you mind if we just dig up the dog? It might break a curse.
Can I ask why you think that might break a curse?
We've done a lot of this kind of thing, and
have you?
Not this specific kind of thing.
I mean,
you
yeah,
understand.
lot
Overselling.
lot of dog ghost burial situation.
We've busted a lot of ghosts, and the ghost in the well is asking for Brorn. So we're thinking maybe
You think the Baron still haunts the well?
yeah, and I think there could be a link to your undead problem.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I'm just thinking, probably he's buried there, and perhaps I guess would that mean that he died in the well, such that his spirit is tethered there? Maybe there's some business that's incomplete of his, and that he needs help with. I don't know. Have you found anything of his that might be important?
I remember I have a locket that I'm wearing, and I show the locket and open it and say, we found this at the bottom of the well. We think it's his wife's locket.
His second true love.
that or the treasure described in this map, which I'm still really curious about who made this map.
I mean,
sometimes treasure is spiritual.
Look, obviously that locket is probably worth something. You're welcome to it. Finders keepers. We honestly don't have any interest in going down into the basement. Again, I expected it was, or suspected that it was haunted, and it sounds like you have confirmed that it's haunted. I don't know. If I was looking to perhaps help that spirit move on, I might consider, planting that in the ground over there with the good Baron, but none of my business. Probably be able to sell that for something.
Maybe we should try planting the locket with the Baron.
I mean, what's the worst thing that happens?
Kakara's a little sad because she's already been sort of like sketching in her pocket the picture she was going to put in of her friends.
Madrina says, "Look,
fine.
I don't. I don't want to tell you how to do your job. Vinique, let's give them a little bit of time in the graveyard. They can figure things out. We'll be back before midnight. That's usually when the action happens." Madrina and Vinique,
I
give you.
I take off the locket, ready to use my talons to dig a little hole and bury it with the Baron.
Okay, so there are 4 gravestones in the graveyard. Again, I think only one of you poked your head into the graveyard when you first arrived here at the chalet. So the graveyard is surrounded by this kind of relatively substantial 7-foot tall wrought iron fence. It is a small graveyard. There's a gate on the north side, which is where Madrina and Vinique were hanging out, and set into the kind of the arch of the gate is the name Brantifax. 4 graves, each marked with an engraved headstone.
And what are the names on each of the headstones?
Do you want to head into the graveyard and inspect the headstones?
We're going to look from outside.
Yeah.
They're pretty faded, and there's a decent amount of weeds that have grown up around each side. So you're probably gonna have to get close to read them.
I go in knowing that I
Okay.
can fly right out again.
Yep.
I fly over
I'm
the fence.
quite dexterous, so
All right. Neural
hand
heads to the
that comes out.
northernmost gravestone. You kind of push aside the weeds, and it's a little hard to say in places because it is pretty weather worn and ancient, and looks like no one has upkept it. It does say Baron Brontifax, husband, father, hunter, and then in quotes below it, let no man stand above another. Nyasa, you are at the grave, and as you kind of clear stuff here, it does seem like this grave is kind of adorned with a lot of kind of, there's like bone imagery, but not like skeleton bone, more like, cartoon dog toy bone imagery. And it says Brorn, Brorn, Hound of Brantifax, faithful to the end.
Find the dog, everyone.
Kakara, there's 2 gravestones over on the south side. Which one are you looking at first?
I'm looking at the number 3, the one between me and Nyasa.
The one between you and Nyasa. Oh, this one, it seems to be, it's kind of styled with some it's a smaller gravestone. It's got some kind of floral imagery to it, and in the middle of it, it says Holuth, Heluthe, our pride and joy, lost too soon.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think
Little
that's probably
baby.
important. There's one gravestone left.
I turn and look at the other one.
That one says Sylphene, Sylphene, beloved daughter, may she find peace at last. Sylphene's grave shows signs of, whereas the other ones have kind of clearly have grass growing up all around them and are actually kind of overgrown. Sylphene's grave has clearly been either recently filled in or recently dug up, but it is not overgrown. It seems safe to assume that this is where the ghouls that the Scarlet Sashes spoke of emerge.
I'm beginning to suspect that our raven friend may indeed be a were-raven.
Are there years of death on the tombstones, and are they different?
There are not. This is old-timey days.
Do the tombstones seem like they're equally old?
I would say that they do seem, yes, I think that it's safe to say that they are equally old. I will say that I think that it would be hard to tell if they were any different in age.
The Barons is weird to me, because presumably he was the master of the house. And I think it's weird to bury him, give him a tombstone, and then leave the house empty.
Yeah. I mean, the one unaccounted for member of the Brontifax family would be the Baron's wife, right?
Who I think
Yes, I was just going to say that. There is no Baroness.
And
Grave.
I mean, there was a Baroness in that you have seen multiple images of her, and I believe even had her journal that you found up on the second floor.
So this raven that wanted the people out the house, who says there's people squatting in the raven's house, and we have a person missing, and we have were-ravens. I'm not saying it's a coincidence.
But if he was a were-raven, why wouldn't he appear to us as a person and say,
because
would
you go on a
quest
quest if a random person dropped a book on you? Probably
yes,
not.
That's more likely than going on a quest if a bird drops a book on you.
I mean, I think
beg to differ.
Most quests come from people, not birds.
Yeah, but
no offense, Kakara.
But good quests, I would argue, come from birds. I mean, it's clearly going to be an interesting
I disagree.
Quest.
There's no treasure here. This map said there's treasure. There's nothing.
Spiritual treasure. We're gonna
this quest is a bust, and you know it.
No. Look.
Do real quests come from people, or do they come from birds? Is there a treasure to be found here at Chalet Brantifax? What is the deal with this shadow crossing? Where do these ghouls come from? And is that something our adventurers care about? Or are they simply here to make friends? Friends with the kindness of were-ravens called the Scarlet Sashes. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.